talk to us about the status of your application with the FDA. Where does it stand right now?
Emily, good timing. A few minutes ago, Moderna posted that the EUA the emergency use authorization has gone into the FDA. So that's an important milestone along the road to be able to get vaccines to those who need it. So very exciting outcome of the results that were announced earlier today, showing the efficacy you pointed out, and in particular with the efficacy against severe COVID-19 disease.
Now, the FDA is scheduled to meet to talk about Pfizer on December 10th and to meet to talk about Moderna on December 17th. Your CEO earlier said on Bloomberg that you were expecting approval or clearance to occur as soon as 24 to 72 hours after that meeting. How optimistic are you about that timeline?
Yeah, Emily, we get asked a lot about being optimistic, and then we use the word hopeful as well. And given that this is the business that we're in, meaning that we have to do a set of things, we're always encouraged by positive data, but we kind of don't want to get into an optimistic mode because at this point, we don't really control any of the variables. So we're hopeful that the FDA's review will be positive. Certainly the data indicate that the robustness of the efficacy and the safety we were looking for has been shown. We look forward to their professionals looking through everything, because at the end of the day, this vaccine is only going to be taken up if people have trust in the system, the reviewers, the doctors, the leadership. And so we want that to take the time it takes, but we're ready to execute going forward as soon as we're given the green light, and our partners at Operation Warp Speed are in a position to facilitate the distribution. And we can't wait to have the impact we've been working for the last 10 months to have.
Okay, so let's not be just optimistic. Let's be realistic. When do you actually expect that shots will be going into people's arms? Is December 21st the date you are looking at?
We don't have a specific date in mind. I think that Stéphane Bancel, the CEO of Moderna, has mentioned our hope and expectations that we would have the ability to do that as soon as we get a green light. So indeed, it should be very soon, hopefully after the VRBPAC meeting that has been scheduled and that has been announced on December 17th. So we're ready to go. On our end, at this point, it's a question of getting the proper reviews. Whether that's the 21st or a day or two before or after, I think we're going to do everything we can, because we'd like to get up to 20 million doses out to people yet this month. That's why we've worked so hard to get to. And I should say, Emily, we've talked a couple of times here, but I said we've worked hard over the last 10 months. The fact is that Moderna is a company that's 10 years old, and all it's ever done is to invent and pioneer this whole messenger RNA technology. And so this is kind of 10 months following 10 years of hard work for the team at Moderna, and it's really a great feeling to be able to see a technology come to fruition and have the kind of impact it may well have.
Absolutely. And Pfizer's vaccine uses this mRNA technology as well. Given the success so far, do you think mRNA will replace traditional vaccines going forward? And if so, for what diseases?
Messenger RNA technology, it has applications actually even beyond vaccines. I should say that about half of Moderna's work over the last 5 years that it's been in human clinical trials has been on therapeutics, and the other half, about 10 programs, in vaccines. So I think that the technology platform, and we call it that because unlike most of what biotechnology works on, there really is a product platform here, which means a common investment in the underlying technology, the informatics, the automation, and the know-how we have applies to many, many different products. That simply was not historically the case. We don't have platforms very often in biotech, but this is a true platform. So we believe that what this shows in 30,000 people who've now received the vaccine is that the way in which the vaccine is formulated, delivered, and expresses the antigen to protect through the immune system against a viral infection reads across well to many other infectious diseases. We have an advanced program in CMV, which is a very debilitating, particularly pregnancy-related condition in the babies, and that is something that we think we can very significantly reduce, and that's an advanced program. But we're working on multiple infectious diseases and also on cancer vaccines. We had some very good developments recently in the application of the same immune modulation, but this time to get your immune system to go after a cancer, not an infection like a virus.
Now, how should people choose? Let's say both Moderna and Pfizer's vaccines are approved. Given they use the same technology, what will be the deciding factor?
One, I should say I'm very happy that we're not involved in that choice, simply because we, from day one, set out to enable the maximum volume of a safe and effective vaccine that we could produce, and we will do that this year and next year. And we're working with governments to secure supply to then distribute to people. So this is not a vaccine that people are going to be able to buy so that they're actually going to make a consumer choice per se. Certainly, I think the supplies will be initially limited. And so I think that the goal here is to get effective vaccines out and get them into people, because at the end of the day, as has been said many times, particularly by Dr. Fauci, the only way this population level immunity will work is if enough people take it, that our immune systems begin to be trained on how to defend ourselves. And this is not something that is going to be enough for one person to take and protect themselves. So long answer is I'm not able to answer your question, because at the end of the day, availability will drive uptake more so than a choice. Now, eventually, potentially 6-12 months from now, there may be multiple vaccines. There may be such an abundance that in the future, people will have to make a choice, and they'll have to look at the data. They'll have to look at the duration of the effect and many other such factors. But right now, the goal is to get as many people protected as quickly as we can.